The echoing village. Mia, Josh, and Lena didn't mean to find the village. They had been hiking all day, lost in a forest where the trees stretched endlessly, and the map was no help. Just as the sky turned dark and the cold crept in, they spotted it. A small village nestled in a clearing, with cobblestone streets and cottages glowing warmly under the moonlight. Relief washed over them as they hurried down the path. An old man sitting on a wooden bench outside the first cottage waved. His smile was wide, but his eyes didn't match it. "Welcome to Echo Hollow," he said. "You must be tired. Come, rest here." The villagers greeted them like old friends, guiding them to an inn where a kind woman served them hot soup and bread. Everything felt too perfect. The streets were clean, the air smelled of fresh flowers, and every villager seemed cheerful. "This place is weird," Lena whispered. "It's just a quiet little town," Josh replied. "We'll leave tomorrow." But something about the way the villagers stared at them made Mia uneasy. The next morning, they packed quickly and started walking toward the forest, eager to leave. But after what felt like hours of walking, they ended up back in the village square. "That's impossible," Josh exclaimed. They tried again, taking a different path, but every road led them back. The village seemed to twist the forest around them, refusing to let them go. The old man was still on his bench, waving and smiling. "Good morning," he called, as if the previous day had never happened. "It's like the day is starting over," Mia said, her voice shaking. Determined to understand, the trio began exploring the village. They found strange things. A clock in the square that didn't tick, a garden where flowers stayed in full bloom but never wilted, and a graveyard full of headstones with names they didn't recognize. All of them had the same date of death, over 100 years ago. Lena tried asking the villagers about it, but their smiles grew cold. "You're here now," one of them said. "That's all that matters." The kind woman at the inn finally whispered to Mia, "Stop asking questions. The village doesn't like it." That night, they stayed awake, hoping to see what happened after dark. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, and whispers filled the air. From the window, Mia saw figures moving in the fog, villagers walking in perfect silence, their faces blank. "Something's wrong with them," she said. "It's like they're puppets." The next day, they tried everything to escape. They climbed fences, ran through fields, even tried to destroy one of the cottages, but the walls wouldn't break. It was as if the village refused to let anything change. Finally, in the attic of the inn, Lena found an old journal. Its pages were yellowed, its words scrawled in shaky handwriting. "We are trapped. The village feeds on us. Time stands still, and so do we. It will never let us go. We have to break it," Josh said. "We can't let it trap us here." They decided to light a fire in the square, hoping to disrupt whatever was holding the village together. But the flames snuffed out the moment they touched the wood, as if the air itself swallowed them. That night, as midnight approached, the villagers gathered in the square. Their smiles were gone, replaced by empty stares. The old man stepped forward, his voice booming unnaturally. "Echo Hollow has chosen you," he said. "You belong to it now." The ground trembled, and shadows surged toward Mia, Josh, and Lena. They tried to run, but their legs felt like lead. The shadows wrapped around them, pulling them down into the earth. When they woke up, the village was quiet. Mia was serving soup at the inn, her hands moving without her control. Josh was fixing a roof, his thoughts a foggy mess. Lena swept the streets, her eyes vacant. New hikers arrived that morning, their faces full of hope. The trio smiled at them, wide and empty. "Welcome to Echo Hollow," Mia said, her voice hollow. "You must be tired. Come, rest here."